everyone, I'm here today with Abigail Ryan, and today we're going to go through some tips on what farmers are doing to manage through the current COVID-19 crisis. We have some information on the website, but Abigail's going to go through a bit more with us today. So Abigail, we're coming into the busy season, coming into the breeding season. So what are farmers doing to reduce the risk of spreading the infection to family members and staff on farms at the moment?
Yes, Marion, a lot of them are very, very aware of this and practicing and have put a lot of protocol and work into it. So they are practicing the 2-meter social distancing. There are a lot of farmers now that will have, either contract staff or they'll have full-time people on their farms. Plus farms will have maybe the vet calling, and over the next few weeks the AI technician. So they have put different things in place, such as disinfectant. They will try and not perhaps meet the people coming onto the farms, so that as you would have went through your research before, Marion, saying that these extra facilities are very important. So, for example, during the next few weeks, the AI facilities, AI crush is important, so that maybe you won't have to be there when the AI technician comes in place. Previously, some of the farmers would have the employees come into their house or kitchen for their breaks or lunchtime. Now that has changed because they have that outside, so that they're reducing the risk of the infection passing either between the employee or the farm owner. And there's a lot of children on farms now, so I suppose the important thing is health and safety as well, Marion. And just maybe to follow on a little bit from that, the hygiene end of it is very, very important. So plenty of hand detergents and soap with paper towels. We all know that the actual virus survives on surfaces such as the steering wheel of tractors, door handles, etc. So they probably need to be washed down regularly and disinfected. Wearing disposable gloves is a must anyway when you're milking. So a lot of farmers now are wearing them around the farmyard and changing them regularly. I would emphasize, make sure they're dumped because they can still have the infection afterwards. Changing clothes daily and washing them at 60 degrees and not bringing them into the main part of the house is also important.
Yeah, I think that's an important point, saying that the virus does last on certain surfaces such as stainless steel and plastics for up to 72 hours. So regularly disinfecting, and particularly areas such as coming into the dairy, or where you have the milk lorry coming in or the AI technician coming in and touching various surfaces. Most of the AI companies and co-ops have issued protocols now, so it's important to I suppose, follow your co-op and guidelines as well. So one of the questions that comes up is, you're, as you said, a lot of fathers, mothers, grandparents, etc., working on farms at the moment, and if they're over 70, technically they're meant to be cocooning. So does that apply to dairy farming, and how can you manage it?
So I suppose if you listen to or watch the HSE guidelines, many farms in Ireland will have somebody over 70 working on them, and they will be very, very fit, very, very healthy. But there is a risk, because we all know that already. So what a lot of them are doing, and they are allowed to do it once they're responsible and practice their social distancing, they can work on the farm. I mean, one farmer would have said to me during the week, his father was in the milking parlour, over 70, milking with another guy. So the father decided then he would go doing a separate job, so he's not mixing with people, because if somebody sneezes on a handrail or something, there is the risk of the virus being there. So yeah, they can work on the farm, but they must be very, very cautious and follow the guidelines.
Yeah, and suppose then, worst case scenario, so a farm worker or family member or a farm itself, gets infected or has to self-isolate. Is there any assistance for farmers out there, or what can they do?
Yeah, so just a couple of things. There's a list available in every county now. You can contact your Teagasc office or advisor. So it's just maybe I want to add a bit to that. So if somebody on the farm has come in contact with somebody with COVID, or they are slightly worried, communication. They need to communicate to the farmer straight away. Don't leave it for the weekend. It has happened on 1 or 2 farms where the employee just kind of was a little bit easy going about it, but you must tell them straight away so that you can self-isolate, because the farmer owner could then have to self-isolate as well. So communication is key.
Yeah, I think that's an important point, and there is more information, as I said, on the Teagasc website, and where people can go and find out more information in terms of managing COVID-19, and also about setting up standard operating procedures and guidelines in place, or Plan B, as the case may be. So on that note, Abigail, just thanks very much.
Okay.